Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Insurance Journal's Academy of Insurance's weekly webinar after show. I'm your host, George, and joining me for the after show today is the director of the Academy of Insurance, Mr. Patrick Raitt. And today's instructor, today's class was part one of a part one of a two-part series. E&O issues you didn't see coming, a two-part series, oddly enough, aptly named. And our instructor is Mr. Chris Burand. Chris, welcome to the after show. It's great to have you here.
George, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Your class was a buffet / combo plate of E&O issues that one needs to actually ingest into their intellects to be believed. Thank you so much. I'd say at the top for your help and taking your expertise and communicating it in an easy to understand way. As I was listening to you, I was wondering, just on a basic level, E&O issues, are they easy to mitigate before they happen, or is it something that people need to learn the hard way? I'm doing the after show for Larry Juanos's D&O book, and he talks in one of his chapters about subsidiary creation and how some insurers won't insure a subsidiary because they have too many questions about it, whether it's through acquisition. Your acquisition talk, that section made me think of that. Or if they just have too many questions about the management or whatever it is. So is E&O more easily resolved before it happens, or is it more often than not something that needs to be resolved after the issue happens?
So you're actually asking two different questions there.
Okay.
First one is a mechanical issue, and the second one is a psychological urgency issue.
Okay.
So is it mechanically easier to fix it up front? Absolutely, 100%, hands down. Life's more fun. You'll make more money. Everything's awesome. So why don't people do it up front? Because they don't have a sense of urgency to do it up front until they're sued. So
okay,
I've told people this for years. They'll say, Chris, where do you have the most success? What kind of agents do you have the most success consulting with? And I'll say, the one that's about to lose their E&O insurance, because they'll do everything right the first time because they're so scared of being put out of business. And then they look at it and they go, wow, this was really successful. I wish we'd have done this years ago. The motivation wasn't there.
I've heard you say that account manager, one of the weaknesses of today's account managers and or producers are that they may get a license, but they haven't even maybe read a policy. So is it, you said it's mechanics / urgency. So is it urgency, or is it just the lack of training that we give to our licensees? And can that be something rectified at the state licensing level, or am I opening a can of worms asking you that?
You're asking me to step into the snake den to answer that question. Okay.
You don't have to answer. I just thought I'd ask. I guess let's take the state licensing part of it out. So for licensees, is it something they don't have? Is the urgency just to get the license and not to have the wherewithal to be able to creatively or mechanically solve the issue? And where does the twain meet there?
I think it's a combination. There's a lot of people who don't get into insurance and they don't know enough about insurance to know what it is they need to know. And they don't have any guidance. Some of the big players, especially on the captive agency side, are no longer even offering any training by and large to their agents. So it's everything kind of rolls together there. On the other side is that there are business models that have been built just focused on really in the last 5 years, where the premises, the founding pillars of the organization is that the people selling insurance for us will remain ignorant, a very purposeful ignorance. So you have that aspect of it too.
Okay.
And then you have a situation that says, hey, I went out and I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life without knowing what coverages are all about. So I'm pretty happy. Why should I do anything else?
Sure.
So all of those factors contribute. but in a lot of agencies, you also have a leadership issue. And the leadership doesn't force the issue. And that's just a failure of leadership. Serious failure of leadership.
Understood. Thank you for your patience with my questions. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, that one part of that question was a very loaded.
See, I adeptly changed the timbre of the question. So
Yeah,
hopefully that
appreciate
helps.
that. All I could do is get in trouble answering that one. So
Hey, Chris, we're all in this together. So I'm happy to have rephrased the question however I could have. Patrick, your thoughts on the topic of E&O in general and for the first installment of Chris's two-part class in particular.
Yeah, and George, as always, Chris brings out aspects of the issue that many others are not talking about, and we have other people who will say, you're more than just an order taker. Telling people you're not a professional is not the solution to avoid E&O issues. The solution is education. The solution is knowing your business. And in particular, Chris, really, you hit hard on the idea that agents don't fully understand all that goes into not just selling business income coverage, but what's it actually going to cover? What's it going to pay? We know if you've read the business income policy or coverage form, you know that there's a major difference between what's payable and what's got to be accounted for in order to come up with the appropriate limits when you're starting to deal with co-insurance and all those other issues. And you're absolutely right when you say that a business that doesn't get the business income piece of their property coverage correct, they may never recover from any property loss. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone said the other day that I was rather direct. I think this industry is on a short chain here in many ways, and we need to get to the point of the issue. Mm-hmm. I'm giving a presentation next week. One of the questions in that presentation is your job just to sell insurance, or is your job here to actually take care of people? Answer it bluntly. Yes, no. Right?
Right.
If your job is to take care of people, then your job entails learning your coverages and how those coverages apply at the time of a claim.
Absolutely.
There's nothing else to it.
Right.
No need to dance around it.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
And you had made, I think you'd said this in your today, but the one who says, well, my job is to sell insurance, that's fine. You can see that as your job, but you can be replaced by an app that does it better, cheaper. Yeah,
I think if anybody's paid attention to the business press in the last 2 weeks, and you looked at Chat AI.
Yep.
Well, I can promise everybody listening here that the insurance companies are looking really, really hard at Chat AI as a replacement for you, the agent, the claims adjuster. The Chat AI doesn't complain, doesn't call in sick, and it can sell boilerplate coverages every day. And you go, well, yeah, but they won't have anyone to talk to. Oh, it can talk. That's the point, right? Mm-hmm. Furthermore, is that the insurance company can cut their rate 10% in the savings of not paying commissions.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you're obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
But what Chat AI can't do is it can't customize the coverages specific to each individual.
Right. And that's the point, right? Is that the day, if it ever was a good thing to be an agency that simply took the orders and processed the payments and made sure that the insured got the policy they asked for, if that was ever a good thing, that is long gone by now.
It's long gone. And there's a press release in the Insurance Journal, I want to say Monday, with a large carrier saying, Why shouldn't people just buy direct from us? Why bother with agents at all?
Right.
So one way or another, if we don't bring this extra value, and the extra value being providing coverages that people actually need to the table, there's really no role for us in business. It just isn't.
You're absolutely correct.
And it's a
Well,
lot more fun. And, you know, one of the coolest things, I was with an agent, an older guy, a few months back, and he was telling me the story about providing this coverage to this big commercial client. And all the other agents had made the proposal without that coverage. And his point to them was, you need this. I don't need the commission on it. The commission on it is minor in the big scheme of things, but you really need this coverage, right? So they bought the coverage. The claim happened 6 months later. They would have been out of business permanently without the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
They turned around and gave him an award at a public ceremony for convincing them to buy insurance coverage. It's like, that's cool. That's what life is about. We're doing good for people and we're making a bunch of money at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive.
That's right. Absolutely.
It's awesome. It is really awesome. I love it when that happens.
It turns out this business is really about taking care of people. And if you'll take care of people, they will take care of you. I firmly believe it.
I totally agree with you 100%. And I think that's really important for everybody listening about hiring. Which young person wants to come into an industry where it's about selling insurance without regards to whether the insurance is the right coverage? Mm-hmm. Young people today are not about that. So if we can spin it correctly, not spin it like a politician would spin it, that this is about what we really, really, really can do for people, I think we have an edge in our employment as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've seen it work. Just for everyone listening, we've already done this for clients. We've helped clients go down that road for employment, and it works. And it works with a lot more success than I ever expected. I'm pleasantly surprised by it. It's neat.
That's great.
It's cool.
Great. That story about the agent getting an award, that's fantastic. And really appreciate your time and help today, Chris. Excuse me. Thank you. And to kind of to segue beyond what Patrick said about we need to care about people and we want to take care of people. We want to take care of you, the people that are within the sound of my voice watching this after show and anybody that watched the class. So there's going to be a second part of this on this coming Thursday. And I'd like to say that we'd like to sign up as many people as we can for this class and register as many people we can for this class, because this class is not just crucial, it's essential. So I'd like to, what I don't normally do on the after show is give the Academy's contact information. If you don't have it, you can reach us by phone at 1-800-897-9965, 800-897-9965, extension 166, or email us support@ijacademy.com, support@ijacademy.com. If you register or have us register you for Thursday's session, you'll also have access to Tuesday's session as well after we configure it for on demand. So I'd like to just throw that out there. And we want to get this learning in front of you, as Patrick Rate would say. So Chris Burand, thanks again for your time and help today. We're looking forward to Thursday's session. On behalf of you, on behalf of our director, Patrick Rate, this is your host, George, saying thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.
Take care, everybody.